Smallocracy, rule by the supermall, is a philosophy that assumes very large malls offering all the comforts of a small town offer the optimum way to promote economic freedom, social opportunity, a way of political independence, and a security of health. Before a democratic society can develop, access to natural resources are necessary. When made available, these natural resources must be spent on power and supply chain infrastructure in order to provide a high standard of living to future residents. In a highly democratic societies, these natural resources and infrastructure serve the best interests of the people, without distinction to race, gender, or class. Such communities vary from rural, urban, and suburban. Smallocracy proposes a system in which the best capacities of rural, urban, and suburban design are unified. Rural-style retreats. Rural places offer uncluttered views and pristine natural conditions. They offer the ability to walk directly outside a house and experience natural beauty in person. Under Smallocracy, aesthetics seen from the windows are very important. Urban-style mobility. Urban places offer car-free access to goods and services. Such cities despite their high population density, can be more environmentally friendly than suburban places since they are usually forced into a limited space, reducing pollution emitted during commutes. Under Smallocracy, energy savings is made possible by having a campus-style transportation system. Suburban-style standard of living. Suburban places offer better jobs than rural areas and larger middle-class residences than can be found in the city. Private pools and patios are common in suburban areas. Under Smallocracy, private pools and patios will form on the perimeter of supermalls and will have ideal viewing conditions of the countryside, beach, or lakeside. Economic freedom. Property rights. Vehicles plus 1,000 square feet suites, and more can be bought and owned outright. In addition to this, a modifiable basket of durable goods of a prepaid value can be borrowed and kept as long as one wants. For example, one might purchase the rights or privilege to $4,000 worth of computer equipment. At any time, this person may return a computer, monitor, etc., and get a different one as long as they are set below $4,000. Any loss of the fair market value of these assets is covered by the supermall's retail sales tax, which brings us to the next section. Finances for the common good. Retail sales tax in the supermarkets, restaurants, and clothing stores within the supermall will finance the local government and public goods offered therein. They will also provide a public education and infrastructure that implies including $1,000 of rights of electronic equipment and instructional training videos for home use. Since there will be no need for police cars, fire engines, or ambulances to transport people to medical facilities, etc., in the supermalls, the costs of public goods are lowered by a large margin, reducing the costs of the public goods. Okay. Social opportunity. Vocational education. All educational levels in Smallocracy will be vocational. There will be no need for a specific teacher occupation. Instead, the children must learn to prove to their parents and their local community that they are worth of certain privileges. When the children have displayed capacity in fields such as retail, fire, police, and health, they are capable of learning history and finance. After learning the basics of history and finance, they are ready to learn science and higher mathematics. Teaching a child in this order means that the children are taught only as far as their minds can grasp. It also teaches children to love and get along with others before one can support them financially and materially. Graded licenses will immediately indicate eligibility for occupation. For example, a manager in retail may need to learn the first tier of subjects, retail, fire, police, and health, in order to correctly provide for retail customers and communicate effectively and professionally with public service people. Semi-retirement community. The senior citizen retirement in the United States is becoming increasingly mobilized. In addition, the baby boom generation, which is among the first to have this privilege, has largely grown up with a culture that is family-centered. Unfortunately, in a time where the average parent in the United States has less than 2 children, The fraternal relationships of large families has been less common, which means children are having fewer and fewer closely related role models. Unfortunately, current public education systems place more social emphasis on past popular figures, such as George Washington and Napoleon, than they do on the parents and the retail community service workers. Children are very capable of learning public service work, as can be evidenced from programs such as the Girl Scouts of America. The lack of experience with public workforce has led to social blindness regarding who to go for assistance. The danger of traveling public roads has prevented physical presence between places of assistance, service areas, and places of need, the house and home. Unfortunately, however, when Smallocracy rules the land, children will have greater respect and social wisdom, which they can use to prolong the life of senior citizens, as well as reduce the cost of healthcare. Political organization. Each Smallocratic supermall will have an ambassador. In addition, there will be 3 secretaries corresponding to the 3 tiers of education: Secretary of Social Work, Secretary of Finance and History, and Secretary of Sciences. Each Smallocratic supermall must be small enough such that people with a clearly the best characteristics can be promoted to secretary simply by appraise of the community. Therefore, Smallocratic supermalls are not doubled in size individually. Instead, a new Smallocratic supermall is created when more people want to live in a Smallocratic society. Each Smallocratic society will have a small town status. Connection between Smallocratic societies will be linked via monorail along a serene trajectory. Clusters of Smallocratic societies will share 3 hubs, each with a president. These are College of Social Work, College of Finance and History, and College of Sciences. These hubs will be similar to the more residential Smallocratic supermalls. The difference is they offer places in which technical knowledge requiring the use of memorization of hundreds of concepts will be offered to late teenagers and early adults who are capable of increasing the grade of their licenses. Every 3 hubs will be connected to a University of Arts and Sports. It is from here that the access to conventional highway and air, rail transportation systems in the rest of the U.S. begins. There is no car rental at the Smallocratic societies. Instead, one purchases the private rights to a car or a group of cars up to some value. One just goes to the parking lot of one's choice, much like entering one of several car dealerships. A special system proprietary to Smallocratic societies scans one license, which is then used to activate the car desired. Personal cargo can be kept in the vehicle as long as one wants. To transport cargo between the vehicle and the home of the supermall citizen, the use of ice coolers, Rubbermaid containers, and other similar shipment methods may be used.